Hello everyone and welcome back to my lecture. This is my second lecture on this interview candidates. I hope you are all doing well and good. So we have already discussed about what is an interview, why we need to conduct interview after selection process in HRM, that is human resource management. Then we discuss different types and formats. So I will be skipping through these slides and will be straight going towards the factors. So till now we have discussed that this is basically the factors that impact interviews. So let's proceed further that what are the factors that will be having the effect. So okay, first impression and negative bias we've already discussed. So I will be giving a quick review that it could be maybe snap judgment, maybe halo effect, maybe stereotyping. Again, it depends that on what basis or what factors you are rejecting or accepting an employee. Another factor that we are going to discuss now is misunderstanding the job. Sometimes from the interviewer perspective, you don't know whatever employee you candidates you are seeking. So आप उसमें भी आपको बहुत दफा stereotype में रखते हैं तो this is not the right person. Sometimes you have some right person in your mind और जो भी लोग आपके सामने applicants आ रहे होते हैं they are not making sense to you or they are not the right maybe right kind of people you are looking for. This can be one of the perspective. This can also be from the applicant point of view as well or perspective. कि उनको आप समझने हैं कि अपने जॉब उन्होंने अप्लाई तो कर दिया but exactly either they are a good fit or a good match for the organization or not. They're also uh, you also don't know or they are maybe confused about that. So this is also one factor that affects the interview. Another factor is candidate order error. This is one of very good thing. For example, if I am conducting an interview and I'm conducting a series like one by one and people are coming and then they're leaving and moving out. So that means कि अगर for example मेरे पास एक candidate आया, he was an average. Another came when he was below average. Another came when he was again average. And then comes a so I being the interviewer of also having so many like so it depends कि आपका जो आपका sequence में आपका नाम किधर है आपका order किधर है. So either if you're the first one, so that definitely you are going to set that bar, you are going to set the expectation. If it's last again, the expectation has been set. So उसमें भी बहुत दफा this could be and go again that's totally on your luck कि आपका सबसे पहले सबसे आखिर में या it's in the middle, but it do have an impact on that interviewer's rating. One more thing, sometimes like you being from the HR perspective, you are pressured over there or you are having pressure that I need to hire someone. Like hiring someone from whatever the lot, whatever like the people who you have been selected, you need to have someone on board. So another there is a pressure on HR personals कि आपने किसी को न किसी को तो hire करना ही है. तो hire करने में sometimes again आप किसी के साथ ज़्यादा थोड़ा सा हो सकता है. Maybe you are very blunt or maybe rude. Sometimes you maybe sometimes आप किसी के साथ बिल्कुल ही lenient हो जाओ. So again it differs and depends. Okay, another thing is very important factor is your non-verbal behavior or impression management. Sometimes many of the candidates does or don't take it very seriously, but this is one of the major reason. आपके जो non-verbal cues होते हैं, non-verbal behavior होता है, जिसको हम dressing कह लें, आपका confidence कह लें, आपका body language कह लें, आपके gestures, आपका posture, the way you sit, the way you stand, the way you talk, each and everything, your tone, each and everything has an impact. These are something that also have been evaluated by the interviewer. वो ये सब चीज़ों को भी देख के आपको evaluate करो तभी in terms of behavior as well in terms of maybe personal आपका जो है interpersonal skills के पे भी. So again, give these things a lot of time. अगर आप interview लेना चाह रहे हो तो please dress properly. आपका hair cut, आपके maybe hygiene, everything needs to be in a very good format or it should be appropriate. Last but not the least, again, a very good statement has been written. Clever interviews attempt to manage the impression they present to persuade interviewers to view them more favorably. So again, आपको अपने किसी को अपने आप को फेवर में लेकर आना है तो again you need to behave in such a way कि आपको लगे क्या either he or she is the best candidate or is a good fit for my organization. So again, how much again I would say clever, but I would say rather than be smart in terms of like how you do you know what type of person I am, how I have to engage. Even sometimes if they ask about your weaknesses, then how I have to engage my weaknesses into an opportunity, and again how you that how you portray yourself, how you're trying to build that image, it all depends on the applicant. So please, again, it's a humble tip or a request that be prepare for that before appearing in any interview. Either it's a job position or internship, it does an impact for the longer term as well. Okay, non-verbal is something about the eye contact, head moving, smiling, low energy, low voice, applicant attractiveness and gender. Okay, one by one I'll discuss each. Eye contact. Eye contact is another very important factor that you need to maintain a good eye contact with your interviewer, whatever he or she is asking. If they are panel, two three people try to maintain a contact like आपको देखो बात सबको देखो. Eye contact में ये चीज होनी चाहिए. You are not going to stare them. You're going to have a like obviously you have like a eye moments and there would be some pauses भी होंगे. So again maintain a normal होता है normal eye contact रखो. Head moving again, if there are two three people, you need to move your head. आप देखना है सबसे कौन सा सवाल जो सवाल पूछ रहे हो उसकी तरफ you need to move your head. So again that's give you like respectful. आपको जिससे आप बात कर रहे हो आप उसको respect दे रहे हो तो आप उसकी बात सुन रहे हो. Again, keep a smile on your face. Keep it like again. Sometimes they ask very blunt or very straightforward question and any with personal questions. Keep your that face expressions very normal and keep it smiling. Okay, low energy level. Sometimes some of your answers or maybe some of your responses seems to be like yeah, you're not that much energetic to join organizations. Do prepare for your answer that why you need to join organizations. What maybe आपका क्या है इसमें benefit है या आपको क्या maybe charm या attractiveness नजर आ रही है. Whatsoever are your like answers, be prepared for that. You don't have to be like आपका morale down नहीं होना चाहिए. आपका वहाँ पे ये ना लगे क्या what type of person are going to hire you or she is doing maybe lazy or maybe something. So keep your energy level high. Voice. Another very important aspect of voice should be clear and should be audible as well. Both the things are really important. Sometimes you are saying something but that is not audible. People are not or it's not easily audible to everyone. So again, आपके pitch ऐसा होना चाहिए कि everyone can easily hear you. Secondly, आपका टोन कैसा है? Like आप बहुत harshly या rudely बात करें किसी से जवाब दे रहे हो ऐसा लग रहा है आप लड़ रहे हो किसी से तो that should not be like that. You need to keep your pitch or voice in like normal रखो, सही रखो and जिस तरह होता है ना एक professional रखो. That's more appropriate. Okay, applicant attractiveness and gender. This is something that comes to like again. This is like we being the from the psychologist perspective as well. आप जिस तरह अपने आप को कैरी कर रहे हो that matters a lot. If you are like going formal in terms of like boys wearing maybe suit, girls wearing maybe whatever you are wearing, but try to wear it gracefully and whatever you are wearing आपको सही तरह से carry करना आना चाहिए. So again that has an impact आपका clothing, आपका hairstyle, आपका maybe आपके जो चीजें हैं आपके accessories. We'll have another session on this, but still I'll update how these things have an impact on that, not just in interview, but for your non-verbal behavior as well. Last but not the least, gender sometimes do an impact like either you are male or female. आपके सामने कौन बैठा है, either it's a male. So again, gender में कहीं ना कहीं there could be a biasness as well again, there could be. So this is something that could not be. आप इसको हमेशा नहीं कह सकते 100% sure है. Sometimes there is nothing, but still, sometimes gender का भी कहीं ना कहीं होता है opposite attracts sometimes, but not all the time. Okay, so there are other factors that are having an effect on your interview. These are some of the gender, race, like sometimes जिसमें हमने कहा not in our society, but if I talk about India में बहुत ज़्यादा caste system है जहाँ यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा वहाँ पे this is like something. Even if you talk about like Western culture, तो वहाँ पे ये blacks or whites, this is another concept. But we हमारे अंदर इतना ज़्यादा race का नहीं. Sometimes some organizations do it, but again it very on a very less. I say very less, but again it happens. ये मैं नहीं कहूँगी ऐसा नहीं होता है. So these are some of the factors that may have an impact. Either you are physically unattractive. Again, kabhi kabar this has an impact. Not everywhere, not every organization, not every recruiter does it, but again, it does sometimes. Female, जिस हमने पहले बात की, racial backgrounds, जिसमें for different races, caste से belong करते हो या उस तरह है, वहाँ पे भी impact करता है. People with disabilities sometimes again they are like you need to see that what type of if you're having some you need to mention otherwise it will vary. कि आपने इसको किस तरह लेके चलना है, क्या करना है, बिकॉज बहुत सी पोजीशन ऐसी होती है कि आप उस पर नहीं रन कर सकते, आप उसको नहीं फेवरेबल होती, सो यू नीड टू सी दैट आइदर दैट पोजीशन इज फेवरेबल टू यू, सो आप हायरिंग करोगे, अगर नहीं है तो आप ऑब्वियसली आपके पास अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में ऐसा कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं है फॉर मेंटेनिंग दोज और हैविंग दोज टाइप ऑफ कैंडिडेट्स, आप ऑब्वियसली पहले से मना कर दोगे, या आप मे बी उसका भी शायद हो सकता है बायसनेस आ जाए. Okay, now there are some of the outcomes of these things. Number one is advertently telegraphing expected answer. Sometimes it happens कि अगर बहुत दफा ऐसा होता है कि अगर for example I ask you, okay, this happens, can't you do this? So this is something like मैं उसको पहले से समझ, तुम कर नहीं सकते क्या, हो नहीं सकता क्या, ऐसा हो नहीं जाएगा या ऐसा कर नहीं लोगे. So again I am expecting some answers from that candidate का बता दो. This is like telegraphing. Sometimes the interviewer or the interview, like you are talking too much or you're not a good listener, you are, it can be from the both the ends, आप किस दूसरे को टाइम नहीं दे रहे, तो you need to have like a time those to know, उसकी भी सुनो और खुद सवाल पूछो, and don't try to dominate on each other, so let everyone talk about like whatever your questions are and whatever the applicants answer are, give each other time. Last but not the least is sometimes acting more positively towards a favored or similar applicant. It happens again. We are हम अगर किसी को फेवर करना चाहें, किसी को अगर बायसनेस हो तो डेफिनेटली आर गोइंग टू हैव दैट इम्पैक्ट. अगर किसी को हो सकता है कि बहुत दफा देयर आर केसेस कि अगर एक बंदे को क्वेश्चन पूछा, वो बंदा कोई और जवाब दे रहा तो यू आर referring to any different term. अगर किसी और ने कहा तो you are very taking it very lightly. So again, from applicant to applicant, your that positivity level and your positivity of the responses differs a lot. So again, you need to keep that in गौर कि आप किस तरह किसी को किस तरह गेज कर रहे हैं. ये नहीं कि आप गलत सी तरीके से किसी को आपने उसको लीनियंटली और किसी को आपने दैट यू बिकम वेरी हार्ड और रूड. Okay. So now these are some of the steps that needs to be done while conducting and designing the interview. हमने अभी तक सारी types की बात की. We have discussed about different formats with different type of question that needs to be embedded. So now we are coming up on that level that we need to design an interview. Now we know what we have to do. So we will be coming towards our design. That हमें किस किस्म के क्या questions हमें किस चीज को देखते हुए या what we need to keep in mind while structuring our questions. So number one is whatever our preferred mode. This is other preferable ये तो structure. उसको questions लो like different sequence, maybe behavioral भी हो जाए, maybe situational भी हो जाए. इन सब चीजों को एक साथ blend करते हुए आप एक interview को you can plan for that. So this is like the best, or you can say this is the ideal one. So number one, you need to have the procedure. Something goes like सबसे पहले आपको पता होना चाहिए आपकी किस जॉब के लिए. सो दैट्स लाइक नंबर वन फैक्टर इज जॉब एनालिसिस. यू नीड टू राइट अ जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन. क्या है जॉब स्पेसिफिकेशन, क्या है, क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं, क्या नॉलेज, मे बी अदर क्वालिफिकेशन यू रिक्वायर, सो राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ दैट. देन रेट द मेन जॉब ड्यूटीज कि आपने क्या मेन ड्यूटीज करवानी है, क्या जॉब के आपको रिक्वायरमेंट है, क्या चीज आपने एक्चुअली उस बंदे से करवानी है, जो मे बी टास्क रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं, मेंशन करो. The third stage is create interview questions. Now those questions can be behavioral, can be situational, can be maybe willingness question that अगर ऐसा होगा तो करोगे या नहीं करोगे. So you can easily ask different questions to candidates about that willingness. और अच्छा इसमें ये चीज़ important है कि आप हर सब क्वेश्चन हर कैंडिडेट से वही क्वेश्चन पूछो so that you can have a rating scale. अगर मैंने हर किसी डिफरेंट पूछे तो that won't be structured anymore. To keep it structured and situational, I need to keep my questions. Maybe सूचना चेंज हो सकता है, but आप उनको questions को वही रखो ताकि आप सारे में वही questions पूछो. In terms of like behavior, in terms of knowledge, in terms of situation, whatever you want to create, but ask those questions so that rating can be done easily. Then comes create benchmark answers. Sometimes you need to have benchmark answer. अगर ये आंसर होगा तो इसकी रेटिंग 5 है. अगर ये आंसर इसका ये होगा तो इसकी रेटिंग मे बी this is something average. अगर ये होगा तो this is a poor answer. So again, for example, आजकल इस तरह अगर है कि आपको किसी से पूछना कि अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो सकता है लाइक आई वोंट मार्केट लाइक अगर फॉर एग्जांपल आपको लेट्स टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ कि अगर किसी को इंटरव्यू पे अगर कोई लेट आ रहा है फॉर एग्जांपल, ठीक है, और वो आपको कहता है कि आई हैव दिस एक्सक्यूज, तो अगेन आप उसको किस तरह उसको जज करते हो, वैल्यूएट करते हो इन टर्म्स ऑफ लाइक फ्रॉम द वर्क पर्सपेक्टिव. आप इसको इस तरह देख सकते हो if you are a single parent and both are working, so how you're going to manage that? So you need to figure out how you're going to go along with this thing and how you're going to see this, because this time पे आपकी maybe answer maybe चीजें differ करती है because you are a single parent or you are a working mother. So again, so ये तो मैंने वैसे एग्जांपल दी थी. You can have any question जो भी आप बना लें situational में भी, to create their benchmark answers. Last but not the least, whatever panel you are going to hire or if it's internal, बताओ उनको कि ये चीज़ें ऐसे करना है, ये क्वेश्चंस पूछने हैं आपने. अगर इट्स फ्रॉम द एचआर पर्सपेक्टिव, एचआर के लोगों को उनको पता होना चाहिए कि क्या क्वेश्चन किस पोजीशन के लिए हम पूछने जा रहे हैं, क्या है, so that there would be no biasness involved in that. Okay. Then comes how to conduct an effective interview. This is another perspective, another stage. अब हमने बना लिया है, अब हमने स्ट्रक्चर करना है क्वेश्चंस को. तो सबसे पहले टू स्ट्रक्चर देयर आर सेवरल थिंग्स हमें अपने वी नीड टू कीप इन माइंड. नंबर वन इज बेस क्वेश्चंस ऑन एक्चुअल जॉब ड्यूटीज. व्हाटएवर वी आर गोइंग टू डिजाइन आवर क्वेश्चंस, हमेशा अपने क्वेश्चन को इस तरह डिजाइन करो दे आर रेलेवेंट टू द एक्चुअल जॉब ड्यूटीज. लाइक जो आपका रिस्पांसिबिलिटीज, आपकी जो जेडी है कि आपने क्या करना है, क्या चीज़ें, ताकि आप सबको एक जैसे आंसर क्वेश्चन पूछ सको. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज जो भी आप क्वेश्चन पूछो उनको सिचुएशन और बिहेवियर दोनों तरीकों से पूछो, सो दैट यू हैव द आइडिया, ताकि आप इजीली रिस्पॉन्ड कर सकते हो. जिससे मैंने पहले कहा, ट्राई टू कीप योर क्वेश्चंस इन मे बी स्ट्रक्चर्ड वे, ताकि आप सबसे एक ही क्वेश्चन डिफरेंट अगर पूछते हो जो भी, लेकिन एक ही क्वेश्चन पूछो, सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चन एक ही होना चाहिए ताकि आप इजीली रेटिंग कर सको. Very important thing, the third point is train your interviewers. Sometimes we have, from the HR perspective as well, sometimes HR people or some like people, they could not, like अगर वो departmental interview, they could not easily maybe interpret, or they could not easily maybe उसको हम सही तरह format नहीं कर पाए. तो this is also इसमें legal compliances भी आ जाते हैं. So again, in order to avoid such embarrassing situations, one need to train, one need to tell their people that what exactly you need to ask. Use the same question with all the candidates. And another important point, use descriptive rating skills. Again, if we write 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3 won't be like maybe enough to rate up to like I give 1. Sometimes somebody is giving 2. I need to evaluate. So it's ज़्यादा अच्छा यही होता है कि आप इसको descriptive rating skills, excellent, good, fair, or some comments with along with that. Another way of doing is use multiple interviews or panel. जिन्होंने कहते हैं वन ऑन वन में हो सकता है there would be a biasness, snap judgment हो, maybe hello effect आ जाए, stereotyping हो जाए, whatsoever is going to happen. So it's more appropriate you go for a panel. Maybe 2, 3 people are going to evaluate, and then you have an average, so you can have a better rating. Standardized form use करो. Another very important perspective in terms of interview, एक ही फॉर्म होगा, एक ही रेटिंग स्केल होगा. जो चीज़ें होंगी आप सामने उसको टिक कर रहे होगे, मार्क कर रहे होगे, आप उसको लिख रहे होगे, कमेंट्स राइट आउट कर रहे होगे. So again, it would be better to scrutinize whole procedure. Then control the interview. Don't let the maybe interviewer or the interviewee, आप जो भी करो दोनों कंट्रोल में होना चाहिए. Like give each other space, give each other time to answer, to respond to our next question. ये नहीं कि आप बहुत जल्दी जल्दी आपने ये नहीं करना. So again, control the interview. Sometimes if you think the applicant is trying to maybe go away from that thing, so bring that person back along the track, or which is आप पूछना चाह रहे exactly से. Last but not the least, another very important perspective is take brief, unobstructive notes, unobtrusive notes during the interview. Like whatever you are, like write them. लिखो उसको, लिख के देखो क्या है क्या नहीं है. Sometimes ऐसा होता है कि for example last few minutes या last few चीज़ों आपने जिसने बोली बस आपको वो याद रह जाती हैं, then you are going to evaluate because you are also human being. So it's better कि आप उसको बीच में नोट्स लेते रहो, चाहिए इसने ये कहा, ये इसका ये जवाब ये दे रहे हैं. Again you have that notes in front of you while doing or while finalizing the rating, and you can easily rate the person. So these are some of the things that you need to keep in mind while structuring your interview. And this is more like for an effective one, you need to keep all this thing in a line. These are some of the examples. If we talk about, suppose your co-worker was not following standard work procedure, and your co-worker was more experienced than you, and he claimed that you and claimed the new procedure was better. Would you use a new one? So this is like support some situational. If it would be past question behaviors, so it would be more significant to help out the co-worker. आप करोगे नहीं करोगे, कोई अपना experience बताओ, कोई अपना example दो. It could be your background related or experience related to qualification related question भी हो सकता है, job related question भी हो सकता है कि अगर ऐसा होगा तो what you are going to do. So again, department position matters a lot, and you can have different questions and set of questions that can be made while interviewing a particular individual. Okay, so we have another like how to. Acha, this is another very important point in terms of like how to conduct an effective interview. जब हम structure की बात की, structure के बाद आता है हमने structure तो layout तो बना लिया. Now the second phase is preparation. What you need to do, then like you need to prepare yourself for the interview as well. For example, if you are trying to call people, then you are going to have उनको आप अपना ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से अगर मिलवा रहे हो वन ऑन वन करें तो अगेन एक impression build कर रहे हो. Organization is also building an impression on the candidate. To try to have a private room to minimize interruption, ताकि कोई interruption नहीं हो, कोई लोग नहीं बीच में आ रहे, कोई आ नहीं रहा, कोई phone calls नहीं आ रही. It's appropriate, it's really good अगर इंटरव्यूअर ने पहले उसकी रेज्यूमे उसका बाकी डिटेल्स देखी भी हो, आपको पता हो क्या जॉब स्पेसिफिकेशन है, क्या जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन है, जेडी आपके पास सामने हो, जॉब स्पेसिफिकेशन आपके सामने हो, so that you are prepared for the interview. Sometimes ऐसा होता है कि आप इंटरव्यूअर आर आल्सो नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड. हमने पहले का उनको नहीं पता क्या पूछते हैं, किस रिलेटेड पूछते हैं, पोजीशन क्या है, बस जो आया whatever you feel like, this is not the kind of thing. You have to be prepared for that. Next thing is establish rapport. Again, very important aspect in terms of like that you want that person um, to be at ease or to be maybe at आपके साथ वो बहुत comfortable होके बात कर सके, आपका discuss कर सके, आपका share कर सके, तो उसके साथ एक बहुत अच्छा आपको एक friendly रखना है. Some researchers ने एक square use करते हैं जिसको हम कहते हैं MASI, that is measure of anxiety in selection interview. So again anxiety level आपको उसको control रखना है ताकि वो person ज़्यादा इतना nervous ना हो जाए या maybe he or she is not able to. होता है बहुत से लोगों को घबराहट हो रही होती है, या बहुत से लोगों को maybe they are really tense, they could not speak, they could not, they are moving with their hands or they are like playing with their hair, whatsoever. Like so again you need to put the interviewer at ease. उनको relax आराम से. Now, if you want to offer some water, if they're like you think they are sweating, so you can do that as well. Last but not the least, ask questions. Like again that we have mentioned, follow your list of questions. Basically, good if you go with the list of questions in terms of like अगर okay ये क्या है, ये क्या है, मतलब जो आपके पास structured question हमारे पास पहले थे, follow that technique, that's more appropriate. And don't ask those type of questions like जिसमें सिर्फ आंसर yes या no, तो definitely आपका जो conversation है वो टूट जाएगी, like खत्म हो जाएगा. हमने क्वेश्चन पूछा था yes, मेरा no. So again, go for those type of questions जिसमें वो कुछ elaborate कर सके, कुछ बता सके. So keep it open-ended होना चाहिए. बहुत ज़्यादा close-ended questions नहीं होने चाहिए. और हमेशा encourage करो, do encourage him to talk to and you listen to that person, ताकि आपको पता चले कि what type of things are going. Sometimes आप उनसे different चीज़ें भी पूछ सकते हो, opinions या कोई चीज़ और भी पूछ सकते हो. Sometimes आप जैसे हमने पहले कहा, don't try to put that person in word to telegraph के like अच्छा ये है तो ऐसा करोगे, तो again you are telegraphing that person by saying ऐसा होगा तो करोगे ना, like you try to get your desired answer. So don't try to do that. This is not right. Also one very important, don't interrogate that person. Like आप वहाँ पे interrogation या आपको criminal नहीं है आपके सामने, कोई victim नहीं है या कोई इस तरह का बंदा नहीं है. So try to be very much like आप इसको बहुत professional या बहुत इसको sequence में रखो. Last but not the least, you need to close the interview. Again, the closing remarks, that the closing things are really very important, that how you're going to close. Always try to close and end on a positive note, that it was really nice meeting you. Hope that whatever the decision comes in, we'll let you know, or you will be getting an email or a call from our respondent. So it was a nice chatting with talking to you, whatsoever. Like, but always close on a positive note. It's not like if I have a very hot debate or discussion, or if I see think that his or her answer was not favorable, or that was not the things I was expecting, but still close on a very positive and a very good note. So it also gives an impression कि यार कैसे बात की उन्होंने, क्या किया. बहुत चीज़ें आपको भी समझ नहीं आती being an interviewer, but still you need to keep everything in mind, and closing should be good so that people would be knowing and people would be having a perspective on that. So I guess this was it from our chapter that was interviewing candidates. I hope you like this video. Do kindly subscribe to my channel, and best of luck. We'll be back with our next lecture next week. So stay touch, stay in state, I'll say because of this COVID, stay safe, stay secure, and take care of yourself.